Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm your host, the Truthbuster. I want to thank you for tuning in for another edition of Truthbuster News. Today is Tuesday, May 23rd, 2017. And as the days go by and the events continue to unfold, all the tragedies and atrocities that are happening worldwide, the plotting, the planning, the execution of orders and plans to exterminate humanity at one form or another is now stopped. And every facet you can see it, from terrorism carried out by radical Islamist jihadists, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, still going on in the Middle East. Hell, they even made another demonstration yesterday in the UK, and may those who die, may the Lord rest their souls in peace. And give comfort to the family. My condolences go out to them. I am truly sorry for the loss they experienced yesterday. But today is a continuing follow-up of the video I put out a few days ago, when the news is already coming out that Trump made the deal with Saudi Arabia. And I put a video out that day when it was being circulated in the news. The same day that the distraction in New York took place. And in the description box, I said this was going to be a multi-part series of videos. And this is part 2. But before I jump into the video, I want to mention that something new right off the bat when this deal was taking place, by reading the headlines, who was involved, and who would benefit from it the most. Without a doubt, the one organization that would benefit the most would be the military-industrial complex. The defense contractors that make the military armament for our military and then sell it off to other nations. Just a short while ago, I was looking at an article from Blacklisted News, and it confirms what I just mentioned. As you can see right here from blacklistednews.com, military industrial complex gets rich off Trump's record Saudi arms deal, and it is sourced from Anti-Media. And news that should surprise no one, the stock prices of top defense contractors soared on Monday after Donald Trump signed the largest arms deal in United States history with Saudi Arabia over the weekend. That deal, hailed by the White House as a significant expansion of the security relationship between the U.S. and Saudi Arabia, end quote, is worth $350 billion over the next 10 years. However, $110 billion of that will take effect immediately. Much like with East Asia, where the U.S. government, cities, the North Korean nuclear weapons program as justification for its military buildup in the region. Washington, D.C. claims the Iranian threat and continuing hostilities in the Middle East are the reasons behind the unprecedented deal. This package of defense equipment and services supports the long-term security of Saudi Arabia and the Gulf region in the face of Iranian threats. The White House has said in a statement, while bolstering the kingdom's ability to contribute to counterterrorism operations across the region, including the burden on the U.S. military to conduct those operations. News of the deal certainly bolstered the market value of stock prices for companies within the military-industrial complex from CNBC. Shortly after a market open, Lockheed Martin was up about 2%. Raytheon was up more than 1.4%. Northrop Grumman climbed 1%. And General Dynamics was up about 0.5%. All four stocks reached new highs. But the defense sector wasn't the only winner in the U.S. leadership to Saudi Arabia. While the president and his family were quite literally being given the red carpet treatment over the weekend, it was reported that Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates will donate $100 million to a World Bank fund that was the brainchild of Donald Trump's daughter Ivanka. Wow! So you mean to tell me that not only the industrial complex saw stock and profit margin gains, but his New World Order scumbag, liberal, leftist Democrat is going to get $100 million. It seems like this chick is baking left and right. Because a few weeks ago, she went to China to discuss trade and business opportunities for her fashion line with Chinese diplomats. Can't you see we're being screwed? Please, for the love of God, let the blinders come off of your eyes. You know, I see these things every day taking place. With his budget proposal that came out today. That's another topic for another day, but man. And as I digress there for a second, isn't it interesting that in the article I just read, that Iran is the threat? Now, I was a lot younger (16 years ago), around this time. And I wasn't much into finding out what's going on. But what I remember in that period of time, what I do remember prior to 9/11 is that before it happened, it went down, I would flip the news at night when I was at home, chillaxing from whatever I was doing that day. They would mention that Iran is the threat over and over and over. And they were coming up with a strategy to combat against them. Well, a short time later, what happened? That fateful day, the Twin Towers fell. Now, for the past few years now, from 2015, the entire year, all the way, the entire year 2016, and off and on through 2017, I'm still hearing references that there's going to be another 9/11 style attack sometime in the future. And people in the truth community have come to their hypothesis to put the pieces in the pot and try to pinpoint the time frame that could possibly happen. With the date reversal, if you invert a date, it will match up with 9/11. But the elite know that's what we've been talking about. So they can hold off at any time they want. So keep that in mind. This is pretty much the same rhetoric that was pushed out by the media. The mainstream corporate ran garbage, bullshit, lying, Decepticon media. They pretty much said the same thing. Not exactly, but the message was there. Iran is Iran. And this time they're doing it again. But the difference between then and now is that there was no alliance built up between Saudi Arabia. So they weren't taking part with the U.S. and gearing up towards Iran. Something about Iran we should all remember. If Iran is gaining any kind of prowess, militarily wise, or the capability to produce nuclear technology or weapons, it is because dictator Obama signed the agreement, the contract with Iran, and Iran had their own stipulations that banned any kind of, well, I know for a fact, U.S. inspector. But from any other European nation, I can't exactly remember, but the U.S. one stuck out with me the most. So if anything happens between Iran, and if they strike a blow that causes a conflict, or if they have a nuclear weapon, we could thank Obama, because he's the one, along with John Kerry, scumbag ass, who drafted the deal and wrote it up, and they all sat down at a conference table, or however they did it, and signed it. But I'm not saying that Trump isn't having a role in this. Well, either that he has somehow. But the big winner here is not the American people. He said it's going to benefit Americans and bring jobs back. Bullshit. It's going right to the complex. So think on that. Rely on that. Reflect. Let it sink in. Take a step back and observe. Put the pieces together. I want to thank you for tuning in. Prepare for what's coming. It is, who knows when, but it's ramping up quicker. Prepare. Survive another day. Spend as much time with your family as you can. And God bless.